Yo, what is up, y'all? It's Cohen back here again tonight with another episode of After the Buzzer, the show where I recap the NBA games from the night. First off, I want to say Happy New Year's. It's probably New Year's Eve for a lot of you as this is coming out, but for me, it is New Year's, it is 2022, so thank you so much for all the support that you showed me over the course of 2021, and I hope 2022 is a fantastic year for each and every one of you. I know it's been a weird couple of years these past 2 years, but I have a good feeling. I hope 2022 is a pretty good year for all of us, so I just want to say Happy New Year's before getting into the video. Now, in terms of NBA games, I did kind of have some New Year's plans, so I didn't get to watch every single one of these games like I sometimes do, but there were some games I want to talk about. In particular, I really want to talk about the Lakers Trailblazers game. You've seen the title of this video. This video is about LeBron James, who has been very overdue for a video. He's averaging over 30, I think it's like 34, 35 points per game over these last 7 games for the Los Angeles Lakers, and they've been losing a lot. The Lakers need to get LeBron James some help, but tonight they did get a win 139-106 over the Portland Trailblazers. And this game wasn't as close as it, which is crazy to say in a 33-point win, but it wasn't even as close as the score suggested. Like, LeBron and the Lakers kind of out there were just playing like they were up against a JV basketball team. Like, LeBron was just doing like high dribbles and he was throwing like behind the back and like over the head passes for no reason, just messing around. And he still dropped 43 points. Like, this Blazers team looked like they didn't belong on the court tonight. It was one of the most kind of embarrassing performances I've seen from a team in recent memory. I know they're dealing with injuries, but it looked like they came out with no effort. It looked like they already kind of resigned themselves to losing to the Lakers. LeBron was getting to the rim at ease. He played center tonight and he dominated along with 43 points. He had 14 rebounds and 4 assists in 29 minutes too. Like, it was ridiculous what he was doing out there. He had 27 in the first half. He could have probably put up 50 if they didn't take him out because it was an insane blowout. He's just dominating not only the Blazers, but just teams in general. I will real quick say about the Blazers, I hope maybe a game like this where they get blown out kind of shows them how much they need to blow it up. I know they're missing CJ. I know they're missing Nurkic, but even with those guys healthy, this team hasn't looked good at all. And at this point in the season, right now, they are tied with the Oklahoma City Thunder for record after the Thunder won tonight against the New York Knicks, which I'll talk about a little bit at the end of the video. But the Thunder were a team that's supposed to be rebuilding, and this Trailblazers team is supposed to be competing for a championship. So if that doesn't quite tell you that you need to blow things up, I don't know what will. The Blazers have to make moves, whether it's trading Dame, trading CJ. I've been an advocate of it since this past offseason. People told me I was wrong. I get stuff right every now and again, and this Blazers team has needed to blow it up for a little while. I think it's finally reached the point where, at this point, even Blazers management can't really deny it. It's time to blow things up. They can't play defense. Damian Lillard hasn't quite been the Dame that we've seen over past seasons. He's just not scoring as efficiently, and so all around, it feels like the Blazers just got to blow things up, because right now, they're not even going to make the playoffs. If the season ended today, they wouldn't even make the playoffs. They're like 13th, 14th in the Western Conference right now. There's not much coming back from that. So the Blazers need to blow things up. But like I was mentioning, on the Lakers side of the ball, this was just one of their most dominant performances. They made the Blazers look like they didn't belong on an NBA court tonight. As I mentioned, LeBron James, 43, 14, and 4, and I'll get into him a little bit more. But I do want to give a shout to Russell Westbrook, who had 15, 13, and 12, getting a triple-double. He was efficient. He was under control. This was one of his better games he played, despite that one weird shot that like went off the side of the backboard that I personally thought he got fouled on. But people were posting it on social media, and people kind of assumed he just had a bad game. I can promise you from watching this game, he did not have a bad game. Malik Monk had 18 and this ridiculous scoop and 1 layup, which was crazy. Stanley Johnson keeps playing good minutes with 10 points in 23 minutes. You had 10 from Austin Reeves, who had a crazy and 1 as well at the end. Taylor Horton-Tucker with 10, 16 from Melo, as well as a few blocks. This was just one of the best games I've seen from the Lakers, taking advantage of a pretty weak opponent in the Trailblazers, and LeBron James keeps dominating. With this 43-point game, he on the season is averaging 28.6 points per game. You know the last time LeBron averaged this many points per game? 2009. Now, well, I was going to say 12 years ago, but 13 years ago now, because now it's 2022. The last time he averaged this many points was 13 years ago. He was 24 years old the last time he averaged this many points. That if that doesn't show you how much longevity and just how insane LeBron James has been over the course of his career, I really don't know what will. The things that he is doing right now are unprecedented for even him, and he's one of, if not the greatest player of all time, depending on where you stand on the whole GOAT debate thing. Not going to get into that right now, but LeBron James, you know, the last time he's averaged this many points per game on the efficiency that he's shooting right now, which is above 52%? Never in his entire career. This is the most efficient he's been, averaging this many points or more in his entire career. And he's 37 years old. That's absurd, the things that he continues to do. He's breaking his own records. He's doing things that no one thought possible. Before the season, I tweeted out, I said, I'm not quite sure if LeBron James is the greatest player in the world anymore, but I feel like he's going to make me regret this. Here he is, making me regret that. I don't know if LeBron's the best player in the world. I feel like there's definitely an argument for him to still be the best player in the world. You've got him, you've got Giannis, you've got Curry, you've got Durant, you've got Jokic, Kawhi when he's healthy. There's so many different guys you could argue. But just the fact that LeBron James is still even in that conversation at age 37 is ridiculous. And I feel like I know people are talking about that much, but I still can't wrap my head around what he is doing right now. The way that he has put this Lakers team on his back, because the craziest part is the whole game plan, the whole time, everything everyone talked about, the game plan was Anthony Davis gets traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron is still that guy for that first championship year, and then in theory, it was supposed to be a slow passing of the torch. LeBron would kind of shift to more of a playmaker. You have Anthony Davis kind of take over as the leading scorer, and that is the passing of the torch, and that way they keep winning championships. They keep their roles kind of the way that they were picturing them. That looked like to be the path that was laid out for the Los Angeles Lakers. And instead, Anthony Davis is missing time, and LeBron is he's near the scoring title right now. He's right behind Kevin Durant. You know the last time he won a scoring title? A really long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was also like 2009 or so. That's ridiculous. The fact that right now he's competing for a scoring title at this age is absurd. With the amazing scores that we have in the league between Curry, Durant, Giannis, Jokic, I can even mention. So many great players in this league, and LeBron is right there. And he's not even a guy that many people, when they look at him, they don't even think about his scoring. They think about his playmaking. So that just goes to show how good he is. At this pace, he's going to break the all-time scoring record within the next year or so. And that's also absurd. The things that he continues to do. There were so many discussions years ago. It was like, all right, LeBron, like he's going to go to the Lakers. He's going to play like a couple years pretty good. And then, eventually he'll fall off. But you've got Anthony Davis. You've got young pieces around him, whatever. Or even when he first went to the Lakers, it was like, okay, he's older, but he's got young guys in Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma to kind of, help him out a little bit. No, it doesn't matter. Because LeBron, no matter how old he is, at this point, I'm pretty sure my kids are going to be complaining about LeBron James because when they're Thunder fans, like I'm going to have them be, they're going to be watching the Thunder in like the 2040, 2045 finals, trying to go up against LeBron James, still playing in the NBA on like the Cavs again somehow, playing with Bronny James at age like 50. Like it feels like he's never going to retire. It feels like he could play legitimately forever. And he's so good, he's so smart that it's impossible for him to not be an effective player. He's still in the conversation for best player in the league at this point. And that is absurd to me. What he's doing, the way that he's carrying this team, he has this team on his back. And it was a team that, at this point in his career, he was supposed to be coasting. He was supposed to, just kind of chill out, wait for the playoffs, keep his body healthy. No, he's got to put up like 30 points a game, and even then it's not enough on most nights to try and get this team to win. So they've got to get him some help. I don't know how they do that, but they have to. But at least for this one game, LeBron and the Lakers took advantage of things. They beat down a way worse opponent by 33 points. It's just, I've kind of run out of things to say about LeBron James at this point in his career. He's having one of his best offensive seasons ever at 37 years old. He's been doing this since 2003. This is year 19 for him. And it looks like he hasn't lost a step. It looks like he's the same player he was then, if not smarter. It's so hard to comprehend. And if you are someone who's hating on LeBron James, you don't like him, whatever, appreciate greatness. Because every time I watch these players like LeBron, like even a great example is Kevin Durant. he left the Thunder, and I could continue to be salty for the rest of my life and not appreciate watching him play, or I could appreciate one of the greatest scorers of all time playing basketball at one of the highest levels he's ever played and looking like an MVP, which is what I choose to do because he's an incredible player to watch. So regardless of what you think about LeBron James, appreciate the way that he's playing right now, because this is historic what he is doing at this age. And this is something you can tell your kids about this. This is a historic moment in the NBA, what LeBron is doing statistically. So that's kind of my mini rant about LeBron James. It's been very overdue for a video on him. Also, he's playing great defense too. That's the even crazier part, is at this age, he's still playing phenomenal defense. Being a two-way player, the passes that he makes, the athleticism that he has. He threw down so many dunks tonight where it was like he was just gliding to the rim and he looked way more athletic than guys that were like 24, 25 years old. It's insane. I won't rant about LeBron James anymore, but just know that what he's doing is ridiculous. And I think all of you know that, but in case you don't, there you go. So outside of that game, the only other game I really wanted to talk about was the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New York Knicks. The Thunder getting a win over the Knicks 95-80, 23 4-4 from Shea, 13 from Aaron Wiggins, who needs a full contract at some point soon, 11 5-5 from Ty Jerome, 8 7-4 from Kenrich Williams. Just an all-around solid game offensively, and then defensively kind of just locking up. RJ did have a good game with 26 7-3. But outside of that, Obi Toppin had 5, 9 from Mitchell Robinson, 7 from Miles McBride, 11 from Quickly. They were missing Kemba Walker and Julius Randle in this game. So it's not like the Knicks were nowhere near full strength. The Thunder also missing some pretty crucial guys. So this is a big win for the Thunder. Like I mentioned, catching up a little bit in the standings. They're pretty close to the play-in tournament at this point. They're going to have to lose some more games if they want to catch the Trailblazers in the lottery. So those are my thoughts on the games tonight. Let me know what you thought about this stuff. I appreciate y'all watching. If you made it to this point in the video, drop a LeBron James is 37 in the comment section below to let me know you made it to the end. I appreciate y'all watching. I will see you all later. Real one, say it back.